I want to talk about stress because it is completely underrecognized. Over and over and over again, people will come to me and say, but I don't feel stress. I love my life. Good, I'm glad for you. But did you know that your body cannot tell the difference between a tiger chasing you, being angry at your boss, or having too many windows open on your computer, or even a social calendar that's busting full with people that you love to spend time with, but wonder, how are you going to get it all in? All of that is stress. A child getting married, very happy time, stress. A baby being born or a grandchild being born, very happy time, stress. We only really acknowledge stress as things that make us anxious or things that make us angry. The issue is we don't give ourselves quiet time. I'll admit, I am preaching to myself. It is not in my nature to quiet my mind and sit quietly. Every morning I get up and I sit in a chair in my living room and I look out the window and it looks very peaceful. And someone walking by and noticing me might go, wow, look at her. She's really relaxing. But if my mind is going a million miles an hour about all the things that I need to do today, that's monkey mind and that's still stress. It is not within all of our nature to be able to quiet the mind. The issue is if we don't learn how to do that, then basically we have a tiger chasing us 24/7. How does that affect menopause? Wow, big, okay, great big. High cortisol is from stress, and high cortisol makes you crave sugar, and high cortisol just raises your blood sugar even if it doesn't make you crave sugar, and raising your blood sugar raises insulin. See, we have this like cascade here. Raising insulin tells your body to store fat. How many women in menopause struggle with weight gain? Lots. High insulin, high cortisol, and stress can be big components of that. Another thing, so your adrenal glands are your stress glands, and they make cortisol and they make adrenaline, but they also make your sex steroids like testosterone, DHEA, and some estrogen. The issue is if your adrenal glands are prioritizing making cortisol because you're so stressed all the time, then you don't respond very well to the menopause changes because your adrenal glands can't kick in there. They're too busy making cortisol. They cannot make any of the extra hormones. So that may be why hundreds of years ago, women maybe didn't suffer from menopause quite as much because they didn't have the degree of adrenal dysfunction by the time they reached menopause. Clearly, menopause is not the end of your life. We live at least a third of our lives in menopause. This is the part of our lives where we have wisdom, hopefully a sense of humor and perspective. This is the time in our lives where we want to be functioning and thinking clearly and having energy and joy, because this is when we can contribute so much to offer. Back to stress. What else happens? Prolonged high cortisol causes your brain to shrink. Yikes. So if you picture a turtle that retracts into a shell, that's what happens to your brain with prolonged high cortisol, because high cortisol is irritating to the neurons in the hippocampus, which is your memory center. If you have prolonged high cortisol, you will have some brain shrinkage and it affects your memory. Well, here's the analogy I use. It eats you up like acid from the inside out. It causes intestinal hyperpermeability, which means leaky gut, which means the primary barrier between what becomes you and what doesn't become you is broken. And that leads to immune system dysfunction. And that's a big deal because immune system dysfunction is a great big risk for autoimmunity or cancer. And so prolonged high cortisol is associated with those things. So what do we do about it? Well, I'd love to tell you to meditate and that's going to fix everything. And it would be really good. It would be great to meditate. I just want to give compassion to those women out there who are like me that find meditation very difficult. So if that's you, here's a statement for you. Do not meditate to get good at meditation. We practice meditation to get good at life. So even if you suck at meditation, just practicing it is super beneficial. Even brief respites from the fight or flight response can give your body back its resiliency. And that's what we're looking for. We're really looking to get your resiliency back. As far as meditation goes, there are some really cool apps out there that will guide you on some meditation. You can listen to some binaural beats, which are specific sounds because the ears are part of the brain, right? The auditory system is in the brain, and these specific sound combinations can induce the relaxation response, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's really what we're looking for. We're looking to get into the relaxed state. And then in our practice, we use some more advanced technologies because some people just really struggle with meditation. And I still tell them to practice. Just the act of practicing is beneficial. But there is something called frequency-specific microcurrent, which is a fabulous technology. We offer it in our practice. It is using electronic messaging to different tissues, and so we can actually target the nervous system and trigger the response of the vagus nerve, induce the parasympathetic nervous system, calm down the sympathetic nervous system. And so we actually have a protocol in our office that we call the Brain Calm Vagus Nerve Protocol. It's 55 minutes. People come in, we hook them up to electrodes. They don't feel anything. They sit in a nice chair. We run the protocol on them, and we've had fabulous testimonials from people about how it's really helped them to relax. If we can learn to do that regularly, it's going to make a huge difference in your health because your body heals only in the relaxed nervous system. If you're living 24/7 in the sympathetic nervous system like a tiger's chasing you, or your to-do list is too long, then it's really hard to heal. Bottom line is this: we don't just get sick because of genetics or because of a single exposure. Our body is made to heal and be resilient. But if we never give time to relax and get into that healing parasympathetic mode, that's when we get sick. And that's stress. That's good stress and bad stress. And so we need to find a way to reduce it. We don't need to manage it. We need to reduce it. And if you can do that, it's going to make your life so much better and protect your health for the long run.